What's up, and welcome to another episode of the KopiBros show presented by the Chit Chatter Podcast Network. Now, today, we had the fun experience of talking to Sharlyn Lim, who is actually an MC and a business owner. It was such a fun experience to talk to her, MCing at the Istana, at some CDC events, and corporate events, and also about some of her insights about running companies, and then how she viewed the AI trend. A very, very refreshing experience talking to her, and she's very eager to share, and I felt that I learned a lot talking to her. Okay, so without further ado, before we get into our episode, a word from our sponsor.
So this week's episode of the Chit Chatter Podcast is brought to you by our friends at EagleWings Cinematics, offering one of the most premium cinema experiences you can find right here in Singapore. Located at KAP Mall, EagleWings isn't your typical cinema chain. It's a boutique cinema experience that blends comfort, style, and community with 5 uniquely themed halls. Every visit feels fresh and memorable, whether you're planning a date night, a family outing, or a special celebration.
EagleWings is about more than just movies. They take cinema dining to the next level with a wide variety of dishes from their award-winning EagleWings Loft menu. From lobster, risotto, and wagyu burgers to pizza, pasta, you can enjoy restaurant quality food delivered straight to your seat while you watch your movie. If you're looking for an even more premium experience, selected ticket classes also give you access to their exclusive lounge where you can enjoy complimentary coffee, tea or soft drinks, and even relax in a massage chair before your movie begins.
And what truly sets EagleWing apart is that they offer much more than just the latest blockbuster. They also host private screenings for special occasions including birthday parties, corporate events, and even unforgettable wedding proposals. So don't forget to download the EagleWings app where you'll unlock a range of exclusive perks and reward, not only for your cinema visits but also at participating outlets throughout KAP Mall.
Head down to EagleWings Cinematics at KAP Mall or visit their website to book your tickets today. Once again, a huge thank you to EagleWings Cinematics for sponsoring this week's episode of the Chit Chatter Podcast. And now, back to the episode. Now, our guest today is a Singapore-based bilingual MC, host, actress, and presenter known for her work across corporate events, weddings, and high-profile public engagements. Now, she is also a radio DJ, a speaking coach, and a media personality with a reputation for being polished, engaging, and able to connect comfortably with both English and Mandarin-speaking audiences. So to learn more about her, please join me in welcoming Sharlyn Lim. Hello, Sharlyn.
Hello, hi everybody and all the audience of the Kopi Chit Chatters. Hi everyone, my name is Sharlyn and most important is our podcaster. I just got to know your Chinese name isn't Jing Yong. Yeah. So how do people actually address you?
Most people know me as Jing Yong. Even my secondary school teachers, my primary school teachers, hey, Jing Yong, then I always arrowed to go out, wipe the ball or this kind of run errand kind of thing because my name is, And my surname Ang some more is the first among the guys.
Oh, so sorry, A.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not called Jing Yong. What's your Chinese name called?
Jun Rong, so 平均的均, 繁荣的荣, yeah.
I hope in this episode you learn something new about your podcaster, okay? It's called Jun Rong.
Okay, so before you even start, right, I think I would just like to ask you, what have you been busy with? Because I think on your website, right, so many pictures show you doing so many things.
That's what my friends always say, right? They always say oh, you're very busy, you're very busy. But I'm not really sure I'm very busy because it's based on what you saw on IG, what I'm up to or that, or it gives people a feeling that, I'm up to, I wear multiple hats, which is true, kind of true. I think I have double lives or maybe triple lives over the last weekend. So over the last week, I've hosted, obviously corporate events. And I've also trained one of the CEO of a company on the AI agentics.
Oh,
and
wow.
then, and then just be a normal person over the weekend and have pickleball sessions with my friends. So just wear multiple hats.
Understand. I didn't know pickleball was your choice of sport.
It was actually badminton.
Oh,
but it's very hard to book badminton court,
Yes. It must be difficult, especially at the CCs.
Exactly. So we have to pivot somehow, but pickleball courts are relatively easier to book. So we kind of pivoted to pickleball. And I think pickleball, you don't really need to have a lot of skill sets in that sense. Whether you're playing tennis, you transit over.
Pickleball has become such a thing nowadays that, there are pickleball influencers that play pickleball. And then, there's people like you and me that are more on, that do it out of leisure or just to exercise. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always tell my friend, right, whether you are pro in pickleball or you're there to just pick a ball, it's a form of exercise.
Yes. Okay, so we always start our interview, right, by trying to know about the origins of our guests. So I'd just like to ask you like, growing up, was entertainment or was emceeing a part of your growing up life? Or how do you get into emceeing?
Well, I didn't grow up wanting to be an MC. If you were to ask the younger self, will I be an MC? I'll probably say, no, that wasn't my dream, because I grew up thinking that I'll probably just be a doctor or maybe just an architect. Very seriously, very structured, nothing really like this entertainment industry or events industry. So picking up a mic would never be part of my dream. And in primary school, I was actually a stutterer. So which means I really, really stutter a lot. I stammer a lot. And I would literally freeze when my teacher asked me like, hey, Sharlyn, can you just read this passage? I would take forever just to read one paragraph. And my nails will turn purple. So it's like I'm petrified. Like in private, I can, chit chat with my friend. Like I'm having a kopi chit chat with you right now, right? I can chit chat. But the moment that you ask me to read something, I would literally be like rooted to the floor. I'll be like so scared stiff. And if you were to tell any one of them that, hey, Sharlyn's gonna like be a professional MC in the future, pick a mic, be hosting Istana in front of the PM, in front of the SM Lee, or in front of the presidents and other dignitaries and Princess of Belgium in one of the events, I would think that it's not possible.
Tall order.
Yeah, never in my dreams. Yeah, never was in my plans.
Because I've seen on your website, you did a multiple array of jobs, right? So can you give our listeners a more chronological order? Like you started off doing what, and then become a professional MC, and then you started, starting your own business as well.
You probably know me now as a professional MC, but of course, that wasn't my first job. Some people will make career switch somewhere. So for me, I started as a flight stewardess. So I flew with SQ.
So definitely taller than me.
Because let me see, our height requirement was 1.65.
Yeah, definitely taller than me.
Okay, so you know a bit more about Junrong tonight as well, other than his Chinese name, his height as well. SQ was my first job. I mean, I actually kind of went to SQ to save the money for my university fees, to save up for university fees. So after which I went back to the university and studied. And then after the uni, I went to Citibank. I got a job. And after being a Citibank banker for a while, and I transited to become like in the events industry that was really to organize events. So from organizing events, and one of the events I saw that, hey, for events, we always plan for our longest time, and we will have like debrief, we'll have like setup, we will also have like tear down, and our hours are so long. And then I saw that, hey, how come the MC just go there, say a few words, mic drop, and go off already? And I think I can do that. Yeah. So then I transited to try out first as an MC, and luckily enough, at one of the lake, we had an event in Singapore because we do like global events. So sometimes I might be in Shanghai and sometimes I might be in Las Vegas. And there was one leg of the event where we were in Singapore. So my boss said, hey, why don't you just co-host with the American MC since it's your home ground? So it was in Expo. It was 1,000 pax event. And I realized that when I stand on the stage, right, I had no such stage fright. And I felt at ease. I'm like, I think I can transit to this as a career. And it is a natural progression. Yeah. So now I'm MC. I'm also a business owner because I transited to co-found one of the digital marketing company powered by AI.
I envy your experience as an MC. Like you say, my first time hosting such a big event, I don't feel nervousness because I also do events as a moderator, as an MC, this kind of, I've MC'd weddings, right? I tell you, right, it took me so many sessions to finally say, okay, I think I go out, like, don't need to think so much, don't need to prepare so much. I mean, I still get nervous every now and then, but at least it's doable now. It's not like, hey, you tell me tomorrow need to, last minute ask you go out and do a, like, moderator, then I'm like, wow, 不可以这样. Yeah, so I'm always very envious of those that, they go on stage, 可以带动气氛, 可以 like, they seem natural lah, they have their own style.
I think everybody has their own forte. So I think your forte really lies in say in this podcast, you're very natural, you are authentic, and you make every single one of us like at ease. But if I were to do podcast, maybe I'm not as natural as you are. But you throw me on the stage. Yeah, no problem. So
Understand.
Like what you said, I can run the crowd and 带动气氛. That's not a problem. But That aside, it doesn't mean that we don't get stage fright ever. There was still going to be like once or twice in my life that I do get stage fright. And usually they're self-imposed once again. Because it's sometimes we always feel like it's the audience, but it's not really the audience. It's you self-imposed thinking that audience are of a certain caliber. They're looking at you, judging you, blah blah blah. And therefore the self-imposed thoughts really make you petrified and you can't even like host properly. But if you really think that the audience are like your friends, you'll be like really, really at ease and speak at ease and really natural and authentic. So I guess most of the time it's really self-imposed.
I think it could be also something more character-wise because I don't see my that kind, like address 100 people kind. That one you ask me do, I need practice, but I feel that I'm okay with one-on-one conversations.
One of my mentor last time was Cao Qitai. So I don't know whether you know him. So he used to tell us that 你吓破胆了，你就不会再怕了. So literally, stage fright is nothing scary. And if you go through the whole think about stage fright, it's usually like there's an anticipation process and you peak at that. And after that, it's just like a roller coaster. After you go through it, it's actually not so scary after all.
I think you interviewed a variety of very interesting guests. I think you did corporate events. You also did an event at the Istana, like you said. You hosted events for foreign dignitaries as well. So I wanted to ask you, like, what's the difference between like preparing for a corporate event or like, hosting at the Istana, this kind of thing? Like, what are some of the difference or how do you go about preparing for these kind of things differently?
I think different room will require different personas. So literally, I just put on this persona the moment I walked in. So for example, for a D&D, you need this person to be like, wow, like a live wire.
It's going to be a fun night. Yeah.
Yeah, like just like when you do the opening of this podcast, you'll be like, hi, ladies and gentlemen. Suddenly you're heightened. You get what I mean? So you literally put yourself in this role. For me, D&D, it's more like they are looking for a very fun, very energetic persona. So I'll be the live wire for this event. Of course, in a dignitary event where you have all the ministers, you have the president, all that, you require a more poised, more composed self whereby you talk in a more slower tone. Maybe you have a more fuller grounded, fuller voice to command the attention for the night. And if I'm prepping for a bilingual show, it will be like maybe on the way driving to the event, I'll be switching between the radio stations or Chinese radio stations and English radio station. You really need to get into the mood and also the mood. So I will code switch a bit. It helps because, we rarely use Chinese or Mandarin in our daily work.
Daily life,
so So it makes it harder to really get into the mood. So I need to really listen to 100% like a Chinese radio station to get into the mood. It's just like sometimes you don't get to practice, but maybe you get to practice is that you're ordering cai fan. And then you cannot have a very proper cai fan ordering. You cannot tell the auntie say, hi auntie, 我要西兰花. Then auntie will look at you like,
most of them will be like, what?
Yeah. So you'll be like, 我要这个那个. And then it's a very Singaporean way, which is not the usual hosting way. If you're too proper, I find that the auntie always usually look at me like in a very different tone. So it's leaving the persona in events and daily life.
Before we get into our second part of the interview, right? Can you share with us like a more memorable experience you had hosting or like a memorable experience hosting for you?
Quite a few. Maybe like for eye-opener type will be one of the event, it was, we signed NDA. I cannot say who, cannot say which company, but roughly in this event, there was a bottle of red wine that was retrieved from a sunken ship. So it was kept in sub-zero for hundreds of years. And that bottle was shared between 10 of them. And the bottle of red wine was $100,000 Sing.
Wow.
Then I'll be like, wow. So these are things that we saw, but we can't tell. We hosted in a place whereby the whole entire structure was built just for that dinner. And after that dinner, it was like tear down. And it was built in such a way whereby the control room, it's able to see what is happening outside, like what the guests there's only 10 of them anyway. So what they need, but they can't see us. They can't see the control room, but they can see me because I need to go out and host. But as and when, because it's like a dinner, so as and when in between the dinner, when I went back to control room, for example, this bottle of red wine that came out, then I went back my control room was like, some of them were Malaysians. It was like, did they just drink down an apartment in Malaysia? And I'm like, yeah, I think they did.
Sounds a bit too luxurious for my understanding.
Yeah, so it's also a bit too luxurious for my understanding as well. So, but then it's a different side of, well, I think that's life, but not our lives, but the ultra high net worth life that I get to see. So it was memorable as an eye opener. And then another one was it's more heartwarming. I got to host a birthday, but they didn't give me anything much about the birthday brief. So I went over and I realized that this lady, she has the late stage cancer and she's about to, like, I don't know how long, maybe just a few more months, and she will not be here on earth anymore. And her greatest wish is to go to see Northern Lights. They tried to recreate a Northern Lights in the function room. But back then, you don't have so much RGB lights and everything. So they tried their best, some PowerPoint thingy, and tried to make the whole place look like Northern Light. Tried to make the place cold. Single one of the guests came in like sort of like a winter wear. Just to
make it real.
Just to make it real. That left a deep impression in my mind as a host, because you are thrown in this situation whereby as a host, you're supposed to bring joy and you're supposed to really control the environment. As much as I feel sad, I cannot cry and I shouldn't cry because it will affect everyone. Something stirred in my heart, and it's only after the event ended that I teared. So you must keep your tears till the very, very end. And be very professional.
Have to keep the persona.
Yeah, I have to keep the persona. So that was an eye-opener moment. So this is a heartwarming moment. And then another one is a very weird moment, because when I host, I think it's some kind of CDC event. So like I think a 1,000 packs kind of event. And usually they have lucky draw. And Singaporeans, right? They sure stay for lucky draw.
They love it.
But the moment, yes, they love it. But the moment the grand prize went out, of course, everybody dispersed. You never see people disperse so fast in their life. You don't need to throw the tear bombs or everybody go disperse so fast. But in this instant, because, a CDC event, usually you will have a lot of those uncle, auntie orders, and they all stay for the lucky draw. The rule of the lucky draw is you need to be around when we announce your name. If you're not around, then we're not going to give you the prize. So there was this lady who fainted. An old lady who fainted. So the paramedics came and they put her on stretcher, and she refused to go onto the ambulance. Then we were like,
wow.
Well, yeah. And it's like, why? And it's like, oh, if I go on the ambulance, I will not be able to win the first prize. In my mind, I was thinking, you're so sure you will get a first prize?
Yeah, what's the chances, right?
Yeah, what's the probability? There's 1,000 of us here. You get what I mean? She really held on. She doesn't want to go onto the stretcher and be onto the ambulance. So we had to make a call and say that, okay, in the event I will call out your name, you're not around, we'll give it to you. So then she went up the ambulance. And then when it comes to the lucky draw, the grand prize, the winner is really her.
Wow. Okay, wow, you cannot squeak this, man.
Yeah, it's the probability. It is 1 of 1,000. And some people, they just have a very strong gut feeling and vibes about them winning. We will say that 打死不走 kind, and she really don't want to leave, And she really got first prize. The moment we announced her name, we all look at each other so shocked. All look so shocked that we cannot explain this. Yeah, these are some of the really memorable experiences and events I've hosted. Actually, there will be a lot more, I guess, but then these are the three. I think it's left quite a impression.
Okay, then I would like to move on to the next part, which is your companies. Actually, in your email, you said that you identified some gaps in the market. Then that's why you started certain businesses. So I just wanted to invite you to talk about what are some of the gaps you identified and what are the companies that you set up to address these gaps.
Well, the gaps are usually just some of the signs that I realized and noticed after I hosted for quite a while. So one of the gaps is small businesses are really terrified of marketing. So they think that they need a huge agency, they need to have a huge budget. If they end up with a small budget, they can't do much, or they end up not doing anything at all. So I think that's a massive gap, especially in Singapore, where SMEs are really the backbone. And the second gap I think is closest to heart is, I think Singaporeans, we are globally competitive, and we're also technically very educated. But when it comes to the moment that many of us have to like present in a meeting or be on the stage, we'll be so petrified to speak up. So that's where I feel like there's a gap and where the presence of coaching can change everything. That led me to start a digital marketing business powered by AI to really address the pain points for a lot of SMEs who don't really have a deep pockets for marketing, and starting a coaching business to coach professionals and also youths who wants to make an impact using their voice.
Your marketing agency powered by AI, was it something that you started like many years back, or was it something that started recently because of the AI like wave?
For the longest time, I've been managing my own brand, which is my own company, and which does this Emcee talent and events. As a solopreneur, you probably have to do a lot of marketing itself. So the good thing is I'm quite tech. I love all the tech stuff and tech gadgets. So I like to test the A/B testing for the Google ads. I like to sometimes test the Meta ads, all this stuff. So I find it very fascinating. And the only thing I probably will not be able to do is SEO. That's where I outsource the SEO to a friend to do my SEO. So over the years, I have also used companies who will promise you 1,001 things and they don't deliver, especially when it comes to SEO. They will be like, we give you like ranking 10 keywords and then blah, blah, blah. And then after that, they just give you some reports and expect you to read them, and they don't analyze for you and you can't find them. But every month they continue to bill you. I find that it's not accountability. So you will keep switching vendors until I found my friend. He's very on the ball, and I think accountability is very important. When I found that he's really good, and when people ask me, usually I just keep on recommending him. So I've been recommending a lot of clients to him. And during COVID, that's where the whole industry got impacted.
Yeah.
So Emcee also got impacted. He told me, hey, why not we start this company together that we will do digital marketing? Because I know digital marketing, he knows SEO, and we can do all this digital marketing for companies who have no idea how to run marketing. But yet marketing is I would say marketing is really important bloodline of every businesses. So you really need to do that. And you don't need to have a huge budget, but we want to be ethical in a way whereby we've seen a lot of practices in our industry whereby they will tell you, you just sign contract with me, and then after that I will guarantee you 10 keywords. Honestly, if they don't hit the 10 keywords, they will tell you that, I give you another 1 month free. But they still don't hit the keywords anyway. So, and they disappear. But for us, it's very different. So when we are in this business, we always make sure that we have accountability. We are the one chasing the clients to read the reports. If you don't know the reports, we analyze for you. So every month we will have a call with the client, and we record the call. And with this call, you can also send it to your marketing department so that they understand. So everything's recorded. You can play and replay. And for the CEO who are so busy, when you go to gym, can on the treadmill or whatever, you can watch us play back. Yes. So far, we're the only one who really chase people for reading the reports and telling them that where it has weaknesses and where are the strengths. So I think we have been victims ourselves, and we don't want to victimize other business owners, and we need to have good practices in the industry. So that's how it led to all this. And plus, a few years back, my partner actually said that, because he's a very technical guy, he said like, AI, it's here. It's really revolutionary, and we should start doing things that's powered by AI. So we did things that were powered by AI. For example, SEO is no longer SEO. A lot of businesses right now, the brand, the visibility is really not there. It's layered by AI. So if you only look for certain things like maybe the top 10 restaurants in Singapore, you no longer go to Google. A lot of people go to the other LLMs like ChatGPT or maybe like Claude to look for the top 10 restaurants in Singapore. So if you're not cited there on the AI LLMs, you literally lose a lot of, I would say, a lot of businesses are putting their money. Yes, a lot of money on the table because you're not cited. A lot of university students are already using all these ChatGPTs and Claude for all the answers. So these are the future, and very soon Singapore is going to mirror them, whereby also more than 90% of the searches will be powered by AI. So if your businesses are not powered by AI, then where is your visibility going to be? Over the past few months, we've been doing a lot of website revamps for a lot of businesses. So to make sure that their websites found on Google and also found on all these AI LLMs to be cited on ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, and more.
All the news recently has been about AI and, staying relevant in the era of AI and about upskilling, this kind of thing. So I want to ask you, right, how have you been able to turn your seemingly just one skill, which is emceeing, into like a whole livelihood and a whole brand that sustains your everyday and, keep food on the table, this kind of thing?
First, to address why I think our Singapore government, they are so smart in this. It's really like AI, it's going to change the whole ballgame for a lot of businesses, and we definitely need to learn AI. And that's why they're encouraging all Singaporeans to learn AI. And I feel that a lot of people fear that AI is going to replace jobs. They didn't realize that AI isn't going to replace jobs. AI is just here to replace people who refuse to learn AI. I watched this interview on a CNA by Jensen Huang of NVIDIA. So I think he make a very good point over here. He said like in those PC era, so internet, when it came along, it didn't replace jobs. It only replaces people who refuse to learn to use PC. So it's the same right moment now that AI is here, but AI isn't here to replace jobs, but it is here to replace people who actually don't want to learn AI. I think that everyone should really just learn AI and start learning how to use AI, because everything is going to be centered around that. So this is the message over for this AI thing. So then back to your question, the core essentials of my business, like Emcee or this, we revolve around a personality like me, or even like my MCs in my company. But we need to learn how to brand it. People go to you because there's a certain value. You are very trusted in this company. You are very trusted in this industry. And people want to be associated with a business that is responsible. That alone is, I would say, the hardware. So the software would be more like, I would use the AI to run the more repetitive task, like administrative, like editing, all this in the background. So you build an AI, I would say you would build a AI version of yourself who can run a business together. So it's like you're a human architect.
Interesting.
So every businesses, you're going to be the human architect of your own business, but you can be powered by AI so that it can help you to do repetitive tasks or things that you find it drains you. It takes up a lot of your time. So you free out the time, you free out your capacity. Then with this, you're able to do more valuable work, which means that it adds value. In the past, you're unable to do so because you're always tied down by so many repetitive stuff, so many things that is always on the loop. But right now, you can replace them, free out your time, free out your resources, then you can explore and become a better version of yourself.
This is very interesting because that's how I found you. Because when I was searching guests to reach out to, right, I normally like to search by job types. So Emcee was among one of the jobs I'm looking for. So I start same thing. I went to Google or I went to AI, like Singapore Emcees. Then I think your name was one of the few that actually came up first. Then I did some research and she has a story. I think she will be good on the podcast. Then I reach out. Then you said yes. Yeah. So that's how I actually found you.
You did a very smart way of sourcing Emcee. I think, so it's in a way, I think it can be tied down to all kinds of businesses. It also resonates what I've said earlier on about any businesses to be found on the AI LLMs. If you're not cited, you are losing a huge chunk of your business to those who are being cited on all these language platforms.
Yeah, but I think in your case it's very interesting because you're half a public figure or a public figure, and I think your brands are also tied to you. So my question would be, how do you see like your own imaging or your own like outlook affecting your other businesses or affecting your image of other businesses? Okay,
to paraphrase this, I think my image or the way I present myself is important because I am a brand. So a personality, I'm a business owner, I wear multiple hats, and whatever I do ties to my image and ties to my whole brand that's built on integrity, honesty, and also professionalism. So whenever I surface in any events, when clients hire me, they know that they hire somebody who's really professional. And at the same time, when I arrive at any event, I need to look presentable. I need to dress up for the occasion. I need to carry myself well. And most importantly, my whole image needs to resonate with the client's branding. If you hire an MC for your launch, for example, and you are a luxury brand, your dressing as an MC needs to be synonymous with this brand. I would say, MC is just not delivering the script that the client gave you. The way you portray yourself as an MC, because you are also like a spokesperson of the brand for that particular event. From the way you do your makeup, your hair, your dressing, to the way you articulate every single word, it's synonymous with the branding of the client. So I would say that I am the client's brand for that particular event that I represent. It carries a lot of responsibility because at the end of the day, I need to be answerable to my client. I cannot just anyhow dress for the event. I cannot come unprepared for the event. Everything needs to be really, really professional. Everything that I do so far right now, it translates to being trusted. Or like people would say that, okay, this business has integrity. This business is trustworthy. So it's all tied to this and also synonymous with the client's branding.
This is where I think 我不可以做 professional MC because number one, my dressing already cannot make it. I only have default. Default, there are few things only. Yeah.
You must like a
Maybe when I'm at his net worth, then maybe lah. But yeah, not now lah.
Okay, one more person. Ronald McDonald, same outfit every single day of the life.
Yellow and red one. Actually, when you're not busy MCing or building companies, right? What do you do in your own free time? What do you enjoy doing?
I'm a very Singaporean, which is two things. The first thing is I love to eat. You know, the hungry man is an angry man, right? So I must always keep myself happy. So food is one sure way to keep me very, very happy. So I enjoy eating. It gives me a very good mood. And I look forward to trying new restaurants, new places to eat. So food is one of it. I'm a foodie by default. And the other one, it's like maybe once in a while, I will watch a very good Netflix show or dramas. And recently been trending. Actually, I have no idea about it, but my friend told me about Pursuit of Jade.
足浴, okay.
Yeah, 足浴. So finally finished my last episode yesterday. So watched it. So it was interesting. And do you know, when I watched the 足浴, right, a lot of people watch 足浴for what? Because they think the actor
the visuals, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they think that Zhang Linghe very handsome. Yes, he's very handsome. And of course, the actress, Tian Xiwei is also very pretty. But when I watched this whole entire drama, what really surprises me was really the cinematography of the whole drama. I think the director really puts in a lot of effort in filming the thing. For example, have you watched Pursuit of Jade?
No, I'll find the 1 hour summary and watch lah.
Oh, you find summary and watch it. Okay,
Yeah.
so when I watched the drama itself, then I realized that this director is very clever. The scenes that he portrays always has meaning and always have contrast. So, for example, when the one host mom 上吊自尽, right? And she wore a blue and white outfit. So every time when one ho had a dream about the mom, he's always in this dreamland where there's drapes of blue and white cloth floating around. So most people will always think that, okay, it's just like, because it's dreamy, realm, all this. But it's really related to the mom. Because his last impression of the mom was she's hanging out there with the clothing was blue and white. So that was the 境界. And also in 足浴 and in A Pursuit of Jade, you realize that the whole entire drama has a lot of jade in it. So 范长玉 is also jade.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of hidden meanings in this entire drama, and the way he filmed some of the scenes, for example, the battlefield scenes, he will turn it more blue so that you see the sky is actually not so white. It's blue. And blue scenes, when they use for battlefield scenes, it makes it more, I would say, like more ravage. This director is very clever. A lot of contrast when one whole collapse in the snow. One side it's warm fire, the other side is cold snow. There's a very huge contrast. I love to pick out scenes and hidden
Understand.
meanings of drama.
This is so fascinating to me because when I watch movie and series, right, I'm a plot guy. So if the plot doesn't capture me, right, 我就会 push one side, then I won't watch already. Movie still can 2 hours, I'll go like theater or not. But some series, if you tell me 40 episodes, most of the time I'll just 不看了这样子. Yeah, especially when you hear the reviews online. Yeah.
I also don't really have so much patience to watch like 40 episodes and everything. Anyway, I think majority of the people these days also, the first few seconds need to be hooked before you even watch something on the social media or that. 40 episodes, I also didn't realize that it's going to be 40 episodes, but my friends said, oh, it's so nice, so nice, so nice, so nice. They say, oh, you don't know Zhang Linghe. I was like, who is Zhang Linghe? So I watched it like, okay, he's handsome is one thing. I was really drawn by the whole cinematography and the whole directorship of this drama. So I think the way that he plotted the scenes is, wow, 一绝.
I just want to ask, like, what are some of the upcoming projects that you can share with us?
Okay, so like to address the SME pain points also, now there's a lot of AI courses out there, but I would say a lot of AI courses are like scratching through the surface, and every day there's new things to learn about AI. So I think one thing good about me and my partner is that, we are constantly testing things that will really help SME or even solopreneurs or professionals who really want to use AI to streamline their work. So we are planning the curriculum, the modules. It's a coaching program to teach all these professionals and solopreneurs or professionals who wants to use AI agentics to their advantage for scaling their business. So I think it's very important to scale the business. So we only want to introduce tools will guarantee work and it's not too complex, because a lot of people, it's not that they don't want to learn AI, but they feel like, hey, AI is very complex. So we try to deconstruct AI in such a way that every layman on the street is able to understand AI, able to deploy AI agentics, and even have their own AI agents living in a Telegram that they can fire shots at some of the repetitive tasks that they are going to, execute. So this is one exciting project. We are coming up with a coaching on AI agentics for a course for everyone. Another one is like in the pipeline. I always like every now and then when I have a bit of time, even if it's 3 days, I would just go to the neighboring country like Cambodia or that to do a bit of like charity works. December I went to one, November I went for one. So in between this pockets of time, even 3 days, I would just go down. I'll always find different charities. I don't want to go to Google because if you're orphanage and if you can afford to be on Google, it means you got a lot of help already in especially places like Cambodia. It's those people who are, or those places that are so backwards and so poor or no resources that they don't even have a website. So my aim is to go there and I'll like ask the locals, do you know any of the orphanages that around here that you think they need help? And these are usually not cited on Google, nor Perplexity, not on AI, not on Claude or whatsoever, or ChatGPT. So then the first day is discover. Then like I'll shortlist, how many people, then I'll call them. I was like, oh, how many people you have in your orphanage? So they will tell me how many. Based on your ability and your resources, then I have to go to like a nearby restaurant to negotiate like, okay, I want meals for 50, I want meals for 100. And then what kind of meals are that? Or they want stationery. So I have to go to a stationery shop. Because I cannot carry all this from Singapore. It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
I have to go to... Yeah, exactly. But in Phnom Penh, also not expensive. It's all USD. So you have to buy all the stationeries they're looking for and then extra snacks for the kids, all that. So the second day will be on, I would say, procurement. Then the third day will be really like the logistics on going out to the place and then collecting the food, going to the place, spending time with them. So yeah, usually about 3 days. If I can just afford 3 days to travel from Singapore, then that would be my project. So it's an ongoing thing every now and then, 1 year a few times. So I'm planning for my next one already. So that's my next exciting project.
That's a very interesting way to spend your free time.
We are in a very blessed situation or circumstances whereby we are able to bless others. And a lot more people, especially like Cambodia, where they are war-stricken country, and now they are facing a lot of those offense because of the war, because of a lot of their political unrest in the past. Yes, in the past. So they have a lot of orphanages. They have a lot of orphans. So are we able to do something that is beyond the shores of Singapore? So that's why I feel like not just help Singapore organizations. I do every year as well. But as a singular effort, I don't have to wait for a missionary trip. I can do my own trips, execute my own plans, and just go. So if you have the time, even if it's 3 days, you can make things happen.
I think we would like to end with a round of quick-fire questions. The first question is, do you prefer when you MC to be scripted or improvised?
Improvise.
Wow, okay. Favorite song to vibe to for your events?
Okay, abazi.
Okay. MCing alone or with a partner?
Alone, solo.
Favorite movie or book?
Favorite book is Dale Carnegie's How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Every generation has their own iteration of this book. Honestly, quit worrying and start living.
A favorite country to visit?
China, for now. Last time it wasn't. It was Japan. But of late, it's been China. I think for the tech and for the food and for culture and language, everything.
Okay, finally, a favorite celebrity you have interviewed?
Stephanie Sun.
Oh,
yes.
Now, I really think I've learned a lot from you today, but can you let our audience know where they can find you on social media?
Okay, very easy. So you can find me on Instagram. So my Instagram handle is Emcee.Sharlyn. MC as in the whole spelling, EMCEE. Then .Sharlyn, SHARLYN. So that's Emcee.Sharlyn on Instagram. And on LinkedIn as well as on Facebook, it will be just Sharlyn Lim. That's my surname, so they can find me there.
Hey, thank you so much for your time, Sharlyn, and really all the best. And I hope to see you in person one day soon.
We will.